You know that I really love the garden, a living room through the seasons, because it was just so bursting with everything. It really had texture, it had color, it had edible plants, it even had roses in it that weren't quite yet popping through, plates on the wall. All it did to me was really speak to me about such a small place and so much can be done in it. But more importantly than that, it was the edible combinations with the ornamentals. So having that and thinking about that, I kind of collected a whole lot of plants together and thought, well, let's put them in amongst beautiful perennials. Because just because we said that there's a veggie garden and there's a herb garden and there's a flower garden, you know, no one made it like that. We created that. And who's to decide that because you're a cabbage, you have to be ousted to the veggie garden? So I've got a couple of things up my sleeve and I want to share them with you. It's all about, if you've got a small space, you can grow your herbs, grow your veggies and still have some color. And starting off with these gorgeous little cabbages. Red cabbages, so striking. In fact, they're purpley. They're more of a purple than a red. And I think they are fantastic. Now imagine if we planted that close to this awesome geranium. I mean, wicked, just gorgeous. Remember, geranium flowers are also edible. Put that over there. Loving the sun, because all of these plants will thoroughly enjoy the sun. Beautiful bok choy. These are Chinese veg. Bok choy is fantastic. All you do, grab a few leaves from the outside, use this in salads, use them in stir fries, and then when you've used them quite a bit, leave them and let them go to flower, because the flowers are fantastic. They get beautiful little yellow flowers. They are edible as well and great in almost anything. One of my favorites, guys. And this is such an underutilized plant. This is bronze fennel. And bronze you hardly see in the garden, really hardly see it. It's got that beautiful licoricey smell. And once again, look at our combinations. If we were going with bronze, there, and then, there we go. Do you see how it just pops? So there already I've got a great combination. And then of course, a bit of thyme. This is beautiful golden lemon thyme, so fresh, crispy and clean, a lovely color. And then, oh, I found some of these, and really, guys, we should be growing these from seed. But the idea of nasturtiums, I just love them. The flowers are edible, the leaves are edible, great source of vitamin C when you're getting a sore throat. Pop a few into salads, brilliant, and they also work as an insect trap. So if you are going to be planting your cabbages, you plant this quite close to it. So the aphids won't go to these, they will rather go to your nasturtium. And then all you're going to do is spray your nasturtium with a good eco insect control, and then you've literally cluttered them all together. And for structure, no, I love the artichoke. Artichoke has got a similar leaf to this, except it's grey. And here, a celery will do a fine job by just giving us a bit of height in the garden, and of course also these beautiful bold leaves. What else have I got in my little bag of tricks here? Oh, a few lovely lettuce, you know, nice combinations. Also, look at that, pow, bang, really shouts at you. And then finally, probably one of the most underutilized plants that I come across time and time again is beautiful moss-curled parsley. This is the tight parsley. Look at its textures, green, crisp, fresh, alive, and this makes a fantastic garden plant. So here we've got a whole lot of guys. All we got to do now is find a spot to put them in, and I'm going to show you the combinations and how they work so beautifully and complement each other time and time again. Right folks, so here we are in my perennial border. It's a bed that has got beautiful things in it, but this is the idea about a perennial bed or border where things just work with each other. So here I've got some forget-me-nots. They're going to die back at the end of spring, and then next season they will reseed and come up again. And the equilegias over there, if we leave this mustard to flower, it will re-sow again and pop up. So the garden actually creates eventually an ecosystem of its own. Now, you know I love this guy, this beautiful geranium. I just love the gold. So one or two in here. Let's get this prep done. Get a nice planting hole. Ooh, nice soil. Right, guys, bit of compost in the hole, a little bit of bone meal, and handful of organic pellets. Let's mix that in. Let's get this baby in. Squeeze, squeeze. Oh man, I am gonna love this. I mean, it really is just popping up. I'm loving it. Okay, what else am I gonna play with? I told you I love this. Edible. Let's pop this little baby in here. Let's put a bit of compost in, a bit of bone meal, a handful of organic pellets. Mix it all nicely. Okay, and in here, in between my aquilegias, they need something just to complement them. And I think best bet is going to be to use that gorgeous bronze fennel. I mean, look at that, it almost looks like a fern. And the bronze fennel, of course, when it gets nice and big, you'd also be able to harvest it, and you can use that in cooking. So it's multi-purpose, this. As the fennel does its thing and really comes into its own, then you're going to find the aquilegias filling up. And then the next thing that we need to do is to look at how do we maintain this? How do we repurpose it? How do we look after it? Most importantly, folks, is mulching. Make sure that you are going to cover all these bits of soil with either some bark, some compost, or leaves from the garden. Very, very important. And of course, feeding. Feed these plants once a month with a good organic pelletized fertilizer. Sprinkle it round. The safety thing is that when you spread the organic pellets, even if they land on this geranium, it's not going to burn it because of the organic content. Whereas if you're using a chemical fertilizer, yes, it would. But guys, the joy of having a garden like this, where everything pops up and new things happen, and literally every week you can come through and see something else happening, really is the joy of having herbs combined with veggies, combined with perennials.